Welcome to Fact TV. We only publish real ghost and paranormal cases, stories sourced from interviews, reports, and first-hand testimony. What follows is based on a true incident. Names and minor details appear as they were shared by those who lived through it. Seattle's Space Needle cuts the night like a needle through cloth, bright, hopeful, indifferent. The city's founders came here to begin again, to bury their pasts. But some pasts refuse burial. They cling like a second shadow and step through when a door is left carelessly open. In October of 2004, newlyweds Bill and Marissa "Icy" Spencer think they've found the perfect door. A freshly remodeled one-bedroom in the historic Ballard neighborhood, quiet streets, coffee shops, family sidewalks, the opposite of the college chaos in the university district. Out front, a heap of demolition debris. Inside, brand new fixtures where the manager admits the previous tenant left in a hurry. The price feels lucky. Icy calls it a fresh start. Bill, practical, studies the corners the way sailors study weather. He can't explain it, but something in the walls feels awake. They sign anyway. They move in. Icy moves faster curtains, towels, the soft domestics that make a place a home. And yet, whenever she's alone, the air holds its breath. The silence feels full. Her eyes keep wanting to look where nothing is. She labels it what all new residents label it: stress, fatigue, imagination. She doesn't want to stain joy with superstition. Days pass. Normal swallows strange. The couple steals a night-out blanket, skyline, the kind of easy laughter you only get before life begins counting. The next morning, while Icy makes coffee, something moves through the edge of her vision. Tall, quick, angled like a shadow thrown by someone who isn't there. She startles. Nothing. Bill chalks it up to tired eyes and too much screen time. His assurance is warm. The feeling in her stomach is not. A month in, routine finally arrives. Class, work, cheap dinners, the small choreography of two schedules sharing one space. Icy is typing an email when the feeling returns. Only this time it doesn't skim the edges. It stops in the doorway and watches her. A cold, slow pressure creeps up her neck. She turns. The frame is empty. The room is not. Instinct, ancient, unreasonable, tells her she just looked away from something. That night, she confesses to Bill. Whisper-like shadows moving past doorways. The sense of being observed in her own apartment. The numb fear that blooms whenever she lingers in the hall. Bill listens. Gentle, rational. Old buildings settle. Lamps flicker. Brains misfire when they're tired. He believes what he can measure. She nods, grateful for his calm, and feels, privately, unheard. November drips in. Icy stalls at cafes after class, refusing to be the first one home. When the key finally turns, the air inside grips her like water too cold to swim. The apartment is immaculate and wrong at the same time, like a staged photograph of a life. When Bill appears behind her and says her name, she jumps so hard she drops a plate. The jump becomes tension. The tension becomes bickering. Bickering finds the old fault lines money, time, attention, and pries them open. Whatever shares the apartment with them likes the sound of fraying. That evening, mid-apology, mid-truce, mid-movie, the hallway turns to a camera lens and a figure passes tall, thin, pitch black, the silhouette of a person with no person inside it. Bill stands, heart sprinting, and follows it to the bathroom. The door swings inward. Tile. Nothing. The absence has weight. He tells Icy what he saw. She goes pale in the way people go pale when a private fear is finally spoken aloud by someone else. Now they both know, and now they both don't know what to do. They talk escape, then remember leases, accounts, and the shame of saying ghost to a landlord. In the absence of an exit, they search for a witness. Washington State Ghost Society answers its email. Investigator Shannon Stedman replies with calm instructions. Log everything: time, room, temperature, mood. Don't feed it fear. Keep in touch. For a few weeks, the apartment exhales. The shadows stay where shadows should. The newlyweds practice being newlyweds again, board games, teasing, the kind of intimacy that rethreads a frayed edge. It feels like remission, until it doesn't. The house interrupts their laughter with a sound like a mouth at the keyhole. Leave us alone. This is her home. You're trespassing. The voice is not the building's. Bill's chest floods with ice. Icy sees a face, then teenage, ruined, as if struck or smashed, staring at them with a plea that isn't accusation so much as warning. And still, underneath the pity and the shock, the deeper truth. Something cruel is also here. Night corrodes Icy. Sleep thins. The apartment's geometry grows unfamiliar. The hall too long. The ceiling too low. Thoughts turn sharp, self-directed. She stops confiding. Shame breeds silence. She fails an exam and feels the failure was wanted by the thing that lives between the walls. She tells herself to get a grip while something else tightens its grip. Then the harm becomes tough. In a cold, quiet blaze of anger, Icy shouts into the hall. Get out! Do you understand me? Get out! The apartment answers pain, small and perfect, like a cigarette pressed to her chest. She gasps, staggers, and shows Bill the angry welt blooming on her skin. They run. There is no conversation about it. There is only running. They drive until the city becomes edges. They rent a motel room whose virtue is that nothing is familiar. From there, they call Stedman again, not with a log, but with a plea. This time, the team comes. 2 techs, EMF meters, recorders, and a psychic medium named Lois Lee, who prefers not to be told a single detail in advance. Stedman asks the Spencers to wait outside. She wants Lois's impressions to be clean. Lois walks into the silent rooms and lays her palms on the walls like a doctor searching for a heartbeat. At first, nothing, no hum, no flicker. Then, as her fingers brush plaster, a life snaps into place. A boy, 17, maybe 18, backed into a corner, whispering pleas in a voice torn in half by terror. Behind him, another presence, predatory, human, gun hand steady, conscience absent. The vision breaks into heat, noise, the metallic sweetness of blood. Lois reels, bile in her throat, eyes wet and furious with a grief that isn't hers. When she can stand again, the first words out of her mouth are, "You got out just in time." Herring Willander, as it must of the bow. Bill, when told, goes hollow. He had seen a teenage face too, the damage more than death. The story compressed into a single expression. Stedman sketches the rest. Recent renovations are notorious for waking what is trapped. Tear out walls and you tear open whatever impressions, resentments, and violence were plastered over. In this neighborhood, in those years, gang and drug violence ran hot. A retribution killing fits the shape in the walls. Some hauntings become residual loops. Others feed. Fear and anger are the food. And the apartment has been eating well. The team finds no EVPs, no camera anomalies that will convince skeptics. The absence of evidence doesn't cool the room. History fills gaps where technology can't. The Spencers decide. They do not go back. They find another apartment less perfect, more livable. When they open those new keys, the air is just air again. Time passes. In May 2007, Bill crossed a stage and collected a diploma. The couple smiles into the cameras without glancing over their shoulders first. Their worldview is smaller in some ways, larger in others. Bill used to believe that if you can't weigh it, it isn't real. Now he says there are rooms you cannot measure with light alone. The Ballard unit, its fixtures gleam, its walls keep their secrets. Somewhere inside them, a frightened boy still begs, and a darker thing still listens. And if you ever stand in a brand new apartment and feel a second shadow step into yours, do not argue with the feeling. Some doors only open one way. You've been watching Fact TV, where every case is grounded in real testimony and documented investigation. If you have a true haunting to share, we're listening. Subscribe, turn on all notifications, and join us next time for another true descent into the dark.